Gentleman from Texas. For what purpose, gentleman rise?
I rise in support of the amendment.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in strong support of this amendment. I want to compliment the gentleman from California for offering it. Certainly, if nothing else, we ought to protect the rights of individuals and groups to distribute voter guides. There's an argument here whether or not it's actually doing this, but obviously the member from California feels strongly that this is necessary in order to protect this right. There's been a lot of talk here about soft money. I just often wonder about soft money. I know something about hard money, but this business of soft money and soft money automatically being bad is something that we should think seriously about. Because so often when we talk about soft money, we're talking about the people's money, their property. Sure, it's a First Amendment right, but there's also a property rights issue here. When people have money, they have a right to spend it. And if they want to spend it on a voter's guide, they certainly ought to be able to do this. So I think this is a very important amendment, and we should pay close attention to this to make sure that we can pass this amendment. The problem with attacking big money without knowing why there's big money involved in politics, I think, is the problem that we face. Big money is a problem. They're spending $100 million a year coming here to lobby, $100 million a month to lobby us into Congress, and hundreds of millions of dollars in the campaign. But nobody ever talks about why they're doing it. There's a tremendous incentive to send all this money up here. Unless we deal with the incentive, we can't deal with the problem. So far, almost all the talk that we've heard on this campaign finance reform is dealing with the symptom. The cause is government is too big. Government is so big, there's a tremendous incentive for people to invest this money. So as long as we don't deal with that problem, you're going to see a tremendous amount of money involved. But what's wrong with people spending their own money to come here and fight for their freedom? What if they're a right to life group? What if they're a pro-gun ownership group? What if they're a pro-property ownership group? Why shouldn't they be able to come and spend the money like the others have? It just seems like they've been able to become more effective here in the last few years, and it seems like now we have to clamp down on them because they have an effective way to come here and fight for some of their freedoms back again. So I think that we're misguided when we talk only about the money and not dealing with the incentive to spend the money, and that is big government. All the rules in the world won't change these problems. We had a tremendous amount of rules and laws written since the early 1970s, and all it has done is compounded our problems. So I think openness and reporting requirements to let people know where we're getting the money, let the people decide if we're taking too much from one group. But to come down hard and attack on individual liberty and the right for people to spend their money and for the right for the people to distribute voters' guide, I can't see how that's going to solve any problems. I mean, what are we doing here? I think it's total foolishness. So I strongly endorse this amendment, and let's hope we can pass this amendment. I'd be glad to yield to the gentleman from California.
Thank you. May I inquire how much time remains?
Gentleman has 2 minutes remaining.
Thank you.